Hi, I'm Diane Kometa, and today on Dishin with Di, I'm making cranberry orange white chocolate chip cookies. These are one of my all-time favorite cookies, and I can't wait to make them. So let's get started today on Dishin with Di. You need an orange, some granulated sugar, light brown sugar, white chocolate chips, dried cranberries, an egg that's been lightly whisked, and some vanilla extract. I also have some flour, salt, and baking soda in a bowl that I've combined thoroughly, and I have some softened, unsalted butter. So I'm just going to set that aside, and the first thing that I'm going to do is take my orange and I'm going to zest this into a bowl. So just use a microplane and just grate that off, and you just want to get a tablespoon or so. Now, don't worry if you have some left over, don't throw it out. Put it in a little baggie and put it in your freezer. And the same goes if you just want to eat an orange or a lemon, if you have a lemon that you're going to use for something else. Zest that off and then take the zest and put it into a baggie. And then when you need orange zest or lemon zest for another recipe or lime zest, then you have it available to you. So we're going to use all of this today. Okay, now I'm going to set this aside. Next, take your orange and you're just going to cut this in half. Take the bowl of dried cranberries and you're going to juice it into the cranberries. This is a special trick. Put this into your microwave for about 30 seconds on high. And what that's going to do is obviously heat it up, but it'll help to soften the cranberries, and then they're going to become infused with a little bit of that orange flavor from the orange juice. And now I'm going to set this aside for about 10 minutes, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with them next. So I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and I have 2 baking sheets that are lined with parchment paper. The first thing you're going to do is take a mixer, hand or stand, and take the unsalted, softened butter, and you're going to put that in. Now I'm just going to beat this for just a minute until it gets kind of creamy. Okay, that's good. Now I have my sugars here. I like to combine them. I mean, you could just put them in there if you want. So I'm just going to combine this real quick here. Just mix it together. And then we're going to put this in with the butter. So these cookies, I get these, well, I started getting these at a bakery a long time ago. And I was like, I got to figure out how to make these things because they're so delicious. It's just such a fresh taste, the orange and the cranberry together. And then with the white chocolates in there, the white chocolate chips, sorry. It's just so good. Okay, so that looks good. So now with the mixer on low, I'm going to gradually pour this in. And then once you get it in there and all the sugar kind of gets coated with the butter, then turn it up and you're just going to cream this. It's not going to get like super creamy, but it's going to get lighter in color and a little bit fluffy. Okay, now I am just going to give this a little scrape and give it a couple more twirls. Okay, that's good. Now I have my egg, my vanilla extract, and my orange zest. So again, I like to put everything together. So I just put my vanilla in there, and I'm going to throw my orange zest in there too. And just give that a little swish around. I always like to lightly beat the eggs too because, I don't know, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't. So why let it go in there all like that? So you don't want to overmix, so give it a head start. So just gradually going to pour this in. Okay, and then once it starts to get combined, just move it up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take the cranberries, and they're in the juice. So I have to kind of strain this off. Now normally I just go over to the sink and do this, but I'm just going to show you. You have to get rid of this. Okay, you don't want all this moisture in your dough. So do that, put that aside, and then in the paper towel, you just want to take your cranberries and then just kind of press them out. And just set that aside. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my flour with the mixer on low, and I'm gonna add a little bit more than 1/3 of this to my batter here. Put that in there. Just don't want to put it all in at once. You kind of want to let it get coated and then put a little bit more in. And just put the rest in, just gradually. A little bit. Once it gets coated, just put the rest. I'm just going to give this a little scrape, kind of help it out. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to take my cranberries. I'm just going to press them a little bit. And I'm going to put those in and my chips. And then the chips go in. Now I'm just going to stir this with my mixer. Do it by hand. I'm just going to take my baking sheet that's lined with the parchment paper and take my cookie dough, and I have a small ice cream scooper. You could also use just a tablespoon or 2 spoons to do this, and you want to get about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons on there, and then you're just going to go around and put it on your sheet about 2 inches apart. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to put these into my preheated oven for approximately 12 minutes or until the top is like just lightly browned. And I'll show you what that looks like when they're done. After they're done, just leave them on the baking sheet for about 5 minutes before you move them over to the cooling rack. And here they are, they're all done. Now these are still cooling, but fortunately I made some yesterday because I'm doing all my holiday baking. So I have some right here that I can show you. And I just want to break one open for you so you can see what it looks like inside. See, they're very light and crisp. And the bottoms are just lightly browned. Burst of orange. Especially if you bite into a cranberry, because we saturated those in the orange juice, and I love that. And then of course, you know, the white chocolate, and the cookie is crisp, it's nice, and it's lightly browned on the bottom. I mean, these are so easy, and they're really impressive on a holiday tray, or if you just want to impress yourself. The recipe is on my website, dishinwithdi.com. They're perfect for the holidays, but they're great anytime. And please subscribe so you can get regular updates on all my recipes. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope I made your life a little easier, more enjoyable, and delicious. Bye-bye now.